a great Friday, getting ready for the weekend. Whatever your plans are, I just hope you stay safe, that your family stays safe. Today, gig workers, essential workers are making a massive statement. That's right, gig workers and essential workers are making a massive statement. May the 1st, right? Let's support. I mean, we're gig workers. We could be out there with the Amazon workers. We could be out there with the Whole Foods workers. We could be out there with the FedEx workers. Wherever you can, why don't you check in on them? If you have a business like that close to your house, right? You might have a Walmart. You might have a Amazon center. You might have a FedEx center. You might have a Target. People, gig workers, essential workers across the United States, far as I'm welcome, are striking today. Why are they striking? They simply want better conditions, right? Unacceptable that companies such as Amazon, who is making so much money, cannot even supply essentials like this. Masks, PPE is not even negotiable. That's the absolute must, the starting point, right? All of their workers should have had that, right? And if people fell sick because they didn't have that, they should turn to the companies. Now, another section that I'm going to talk about in this video, and I will highlight it again in a lot of detail later. Matt Killian's in the house, Scott Tucker's in the house, Chattanooga, My Info CLA is in the house. I welcome you all. I will also be talking about NELA. What is NELA? Have you ever heard of that? NELA are the Advocates for Employee Rights, National Employment Lawyers Association. I'll be putting their link as well. I'm seeing a lot of people in California, drivers that have been misclassified, collecting big settlements, massive settlements because of misclassification. Now, I already gave you the company in California, right? I do highlight them a lot because, that's where money is to be collected. But at the same time, I also want to expose the other states, the other drivers, to attorneys out there. And there is no better portal where you can go searching for an attorney that covers employment rights, right? You need an employment lawyer in Vegas, or you need an employment lawyer in Florida or New Jersey to get your big money from Uber because of the misclassification, right? There's always too much emphasis on California, right? And Californians are fighting and collecting while many of my brothers and sisters are left behind, right? For example, Houston, Brian's in the house, right? So you could check up Texas on this website. I want to briefly leave you this URL, this website. Here it is. I will make another full video about this later. I do know a lot about this. I have worked with many attorneys. So I just want to steer people in the right direction and get them paid. And my main reason really today is to talk about the gig workers on the front line that are striking, the May Day strike. All these big companies are out there collectively, even for us Uber and Lyft drivers or food delivery people. They are helping us, right? They are helping, bringing attention to the matter. What we can do in these times is support them, even if we tweet and retweet or show up at their protests and strikes, right, and help amplify their voice. What I also want to talk about today, obviously, NELA, National Employment Lawyers Association. Too many drivers have been collecting big dollars for misclassification in California and other states, whether it's Illinois, whether it's Michigan, whether it's Florida, whether it's Utah, whether it's Nevada, whether it's Arizona, whether it's New Mexico. I fight for all. I don't just fight for Californians, my friend, right? That's why I spoke to these employment attorneys yesterday in great length. And I said, listen, I'm not allowed to mention the names because I have 3 lawsuits against Uber and Lyft, but I said, listen, how can we help my brothers and sisters in the other states, right? I need them to be able to reach out to attorneys. For example, let's just take a big one here down at the bottom. Wrongful termination. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. Wrongful termination, right? Too many drivers get wrongfully terminated. Where do you find attorneys that can represent you when it comes to wrongful termination? Where can you find class action attorneys that go after Uber and Lyft, right, for misclassification, right? My numbers are staggering, right? Yesterday, another driver told me they're filing for $460,000. Another driver told me they've been driving for several years and they're filing for $700,000. You got to go hunt after the money that these companies owe you. Very, very awesome YouTuber in the house. Go Donny.com. Come on, rideshare, Professor, problem solved. I love it. And Brian, you got to check the guy out. He is a social media wizard. He is brilliant at the game. Multiple blogs, multiple videos, always shares great information with me. If you have not subscribed to the Rideshare Geek or Go Donny.com, do it right now, right? Do it right now. So these are brothers and sisters that fight together. I'm going to make all of this information available to you this afternoon. I'll probably be around 4 or 5. I'll do another live feed. It's very, very simple, right? This national directory allows you to search by the city, by the province, by the state. You know, have you had sexual harassment, for example? Are you having wage and hour problems? Are you having whistleblower problems? They're retaliating against you because you're a whistleblower. Workers' compensation, for example, a big thing that Uber and Lyft owe us, right? So you can plug in all the, it says here you can search one of the selected values or multiple of the selected values. A big one here I can say is class action, wrongful termination, workers' compensation, wage and hour. You can plug in all those variables and look at all the law firms in your city, right? And then reach out to them, whether you're in Las Vegas. By the way, I just want to say something in between here for Las Vegas. I got my proposal. I'm right in the middle. I'm the agent for the United States for this big European project called Virus Immunity Pass, trying to get casinos, sports stadiums back in a very, very safe way, right? And yesterday, MGM, the head of MGM, who also, he's the president of multiple casinos, right? The number 1 and number 2 in the Vegas casino industry reached out and said, we want to meet with you guys. We want to have conversations. So I might even be heading out there early next week. All my associates in Europe that represent different companies, including McLaren. I have McLaren on board for data analysis. I've got big, heavy hitters on board. And MGM is super, super interested in our proposal. I sent it to them last week. And they said, gentlemen, let's talk. So I am super excited, even if we could just make a difference and get people back to work safely. But not to take off the topic. The number one thing today, my friends, is that essential workers, gig workers need all of our support, right? Employees at many online retailers, grocery store chains, and package delivery services are planning labor actions on Friday today to protest what they describe as unsafe working conditions amid the COVID-19 pandemic, while others put out of work by the disease are using May Day to demand an end to stay-at-home orders they say are ruining livelihoods and irreparably harming the economy. On the second part, I'm not even going to participate. That's a group of people that wants to fire up the economy right now. I unfortunately have a little bit of a different opinion there. I say ride it out for another 30 to 60 days. Look at the foreign countries, how they did it, the successful companies like New Zealand, Taiwan, and Germany. So I have a very, very different take there. But meanwhile, nurses at scores of hospitals across the country plan to take to the streets to protest a lack of personal protective equipment. Nurses at hospitals, seriously, whatever state, whatever governor, whatever the White House needs to do, get them the damn PPE. If these nurses are there trying to rescue us, help us, give them what they need. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable that nurses at specific hospitals have to strike today for their PPE. Bullshit. I'm sorry. These people are truly on the front lines in the hospitals. All the sick people are coming in, and you're not making the necessary essential PPE available to them as the government or as the feds or as the state. It's shocking. It's shocking. It's absolutely shocking, right? So I today stand with the nurses. I'm sure you do too, right? Whatever we can do to amplify their voice. This is unacceptable, folks. These people are there trying to rescue us, trying to help us, trying to minimize the problem to assist us. We owe them big time. We're going to rush, get them the necessary gear. So if they're going out there and protesting nurses, right? I'm sorry, but I'm there with them. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I'm sure you all support nurses, right? I do. I would want them to have everything possible to stay safe. I would want them to have their personal protective equipment. And then, meanwhile, nurses at scores of hospitals across the country plan to take to the streets to protest a lack of personal protective equipment, and independent truckers fed up with low freight rates plan a congestion-inducing slow roll in their rigs through parts of Los Angeles, Chicago, Washington, and other major cities. Good for them. Good for these people making a statement, right? If these big corporations are not taking care of truckers, if the states, the government, the White House is not taking care, if the feds are not taking care of nurses in hospitals and doctors, strike their ass today. Strike hard, right? All for that. May Day protests come as the country is on edge with more than 1 million confirmed infections and some 63,000 deaths up today, attributed to COVID-19 after weeks of stay-at-home orders that have put a fifth of the nation's workforce out of a job, while employees deemed essential risk exposure to the novel coronavirus just by showing up to work. Many of those essential workers are in low-wage jobs, working in grocery stores and warehouses without paid leave or health benefits. So, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. You're not getting the PPE, you're not getting what you need. What do you have to do? Sadly, you have to strike, right? You got to pull the plug out the system and say, hey, you know what? I'm not showing up at work today. I'm going to go and strike for what we need, right? I'm going to go strike for the essentials. May Day nurses will join with other members of the University of Chicago Labor Council and Southside community members for a May Day march to protest the university's unfair labor practices and union busting efforts. Many of those essential workers are in low-wage jobs, working in grocery stores and warehouses and without paid sick leave or health benefits. Employees at Amazon, its subsidiary Whole Foods, Target, FedEx, and other companies have been forced to work in unsafe conditions at the front lines of the pandemic. Many will either stage mass sick outs or simply walk off the job Friday in various cities to demand time off, hazard pay. Hazard pay. Uber, Lyft, where's the hazard pay? Food delivery companies, where is the hazard pay? If you say that we're essential and we deemed essential workers, why are they not paying us the essential money, right? Why are they not paying the hazard pay? Sick leave, protective gear, and cleaning supplies, etc., etc. And there it is, right? Nice big banner, May Day general strike, Amazon, Whole Foods, Target, and Instacart workers. I mean, they have made national media, and they're helping us, right? Why are they helping us? Because we gig workers as well, right? These are gig workers that are truly helping the Uber, Lyft, and food delivery gig workers as well, because the media is paying attention to this, right? In the verbiage, in the language, they are including us, the drivers, and the food delivery people, right? But this is way, way bigger. This is about nurses, about truckers, about food delivery people, about rideshare drivers, right? That are all making a statement today. Corporations take care of us on every single level. We are essential. We're making the money for you, and you need to act accordingly. Amen, right, Scott? Amen. I agree. Now, the other thing, again, that I will be highlighting this afternoon, as I said already, is the NELA here. What is NELA? It is the National Employment Lawyers Association, advances employees' rights and serves lawyers who advocate for equality and justice in the American workplace. Their vision: workers will be paid at least a living wage in an environment free of discrimination, harassment, retaliation, and capricious employment decisions. Right? Let's talk about retaliation. How often have Uber and Lyft retaliated against drivers? Right? The next thing you know, hey, you are wrongfully terminated because you spoke up. That's what happened to me at the Uber Los Angeles hub. I spoke up. I said, okay, I'm going to get attorneys. What did they do? 5 security guards around me, throw me out. Same day, I get one of my accounts deactivated. Don't speak out against us, otherwise we will retaliate. Well, I don't take retaliation lightly, right? You retaliate and try to harm me, I come back with a hammer, right? And that's where you turn to topics like attorneys, and you address such things as, where is it? Wrongful termination. I know of hundreds, if not thousands, of drivers that were wrongfully terminated, including myself, right? And again, I don't take that lightly, not just personally, but also for the people that I represent. I am a voice for drivers. If somebody emails me and texts me and says, hey, I was wrongfully terminated because I did this and this and this, right? Okay. Firstly, I try to steer them in the right direction to how to calculate those damages for wrongful termination, try to get them reenacted into the job, right? Because that's one thing you have to make very, very clear in a small claims case is, Your Honor, I was wrongfully terminated against, they deactivated me because I did this, right? And then, and furthermore, sorry, let me just get rid of this thing here quickly. And furthermore, these are my losses, Your Honor, and I want to be reinstated immediately by Uber and Lyft. The judge has the power to tell Uber and Lyft, can't do that, you can't retaliate because of that, and you immediately reinstate this individual, and by the way, you owe them $800, right? So that's how it works. It's very simple, very easy to argue in small claims court, but worker misclassification over many, many years. If you are a driver and you've been out there since 2015 and you've been driving 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, your misclassification will make you a lot of money. They never paid you for all the overtime hours you work. They never paid you for the meals, for all the things that you rightfully should have been paid for. You got below the minimum wage. So you're basically fighting for that difference, right? Rideshare 411, what's up? Hammer time, Mark Caesar. Let's get our videos out there today. Rideshare 411's got a great channel. Let's get something out about Mayday. Support these guys at Whole Foods, at Amazon, at Instacart, at FedEx, at Shipt. Let's rally behind them. Even if we tweet out in solidarity, even if we share a video in Facebook, or whatever we can do to amplify the voice, right? And again, I'm excited this afternoon to go into a lot of detail about NELA, National Employment Lawyers Association. There are too many Californians getting money through this misclassification. The other states also need access to this money, right? It's not just right that the spotlight is on California because of AB5. No, There are drivers in Salt Lake City. There are drivers in Las Vegas. There are drivers in Miami. There are drivers in New York that have been misclassified and need to get paid. So I'll show you how to do that this afternoon. There are many individual cases that you can bring. You just need the right attorney or the right class action attorney. So we'll go through it. And again, this is a national directory, so you can look up any state, any city, right? I would search by state. By state. You search as Michigan, for example. Let me just put, and let's say I want to look for Michigan, and I want to look for class, let's say a wrongful termination, wage hours, employment contracts, because they broke your employment contract. Let's see what else. Where's class action? I got that already. Class actions. So it spits out all the attorneys, right, that handle these type of cases to get you that money. Then you go through them, right? Whether it's, let's say, I just called out Michigan right now, right, as an example. You go to Blanchard and Walker, you email them, you find that we throw that into the Google, you find the email, you contact, say, hey, I have this problem. The companies Uber and Lyft have retaliated against me, right? They have wrongfully terminated me. Would you represent me? Then you contact Bogus and Conscious PC, McKnight, Gregory Moore, Drew Cooper, and Anding. They're all the attorneys in Michigan that fight these type of cases, right? So you have representation and you can get that money back. Rick Nelson's right now in San Antonio, so he would have to look up later on. I'm going to show you how to do that with NELA, how to find the right fit. There are many out there, many that you can contact through this database that can help you and represent you, right? But again, today, all focus, please, on May Day general strike. Whatever Scott can do, whatever Rick can do, whatever Nifty 50 can do, whatever Rideshare 411 can do, whatever Brian in Houston, Texas can do, whatever Robin in Las Vegas can do, whatever Chris Hollingsworth can do, whatever Mark Caesar can do. Maybe just a tweet in solidarity with our brothers and sisters, right? Maybe just a Facebook post. Maybe go into a Facebook group and say, hey, I stand in solidarity with the Amazon workers, with the Instacart workers, with the Shipt workers, with the FedEx workers, because these are all gig workers, right? And I stand in solidarity with the nurses. Why? Because they need the necessary PPE. Get them the stuff yesterday. No excuses. We're sick and tired of excuses. We're sick and tired of promises. Don't give us promises. Don't give us excuses. Deliver it. Right, that's what we need to do. So I'm gonna head out now. I'm gonna hit the road. I did get my convertible last night. Super stoked. My old classic Mercedes convertible. Finally got it all fixed up. Mechanic did a great job, and I flew up from Long Beach right up to Calabasas, Agoura Hills, 85 miles an hour with the roof down, 82 degrees outside. Felt absolutely amazing. New Zealand in the house. Again, we applaud New Zealand. I wish that everybody would look at New Zealand on how it should have been done, right? Remember, Vicky, your lady premier, your president there, phenomenal what she did. Phenomenal how she handled the whole COVID matter. She's a role model for the rest of the world. Absolutely. Mike Auger, pics or it didn't happen. Which pictures? For the convertible? Okay, I owe you pictures. Good. I'll get you the pictures. I'm going to be in the car just now. I'll take pictures and then I'll do another live stream. Deal. I'm doing another live stream anyway this afternoon on NELA, right? So I'll share the pictures. Absolutely. I will take the pictures for Mike Auger. Done deal. Shake on it virtually. Absolutely. I'll be cruising down the highway. I'll take a couple of selfies. Whoop, whoop. Roof down. Sun rays in the face. Gamma rays. Done. Absolutely. Cool, guys. So I'm going to rock out of here right now. Get going. Had an amazing birthday with my son yesterday. Ryan turned 13. Laura's kids went down. They delivered a whole bunch of cupcakes, and then they surprised him. They had a big Zoom meeting. He had no idea. They had a big Zoom meeting, right? By the way, this is the website here, right? To NELA with all the different state employer attorneys. But yeah, we had a big Zoom meeting. So all of his buddies, even some of his buddies were in Singapore, right? Everyone was on Zoom, and he had no idea. So he had the birthday cake. Everybody was singing happy birthday. And then they have the computer there in front of the cake. So he sits down to blow out the candle, and he sees all his buddies in Zoom. He freaked out. He absolutely freaked out. Right, Liam? He's like, whoa, what a nice surprise. So imagine you have no idea. There's a big surprise, like party thrown for you, right? But it's a surprise Zoom birthday party. The kid was over the frickin' moon. All of his buddies were alerted a week ago and told it's all going down at 7 p.m. yesterday. So they all congregated in Zoom, and he was outside all set up, and then, hey, buddy, come inside. So the cake, the candles, the Zoom meeting, and all his little amigos and friends in the house, in the Zoom meeting, singing happy birthday. Doesn't get better than that, right? Welcome to celebrating birthday during the pandemic. We get creative, right? We get creative. Okay, my friends. Where's the likes? I only have 19. I could easily have 25 right now. Pump it up, please. Pump it up. And I will be, show me some love now, and I'll come back this afternoon and I'll do a video with you about NELA, right? What we can do there, or what you can do there, how you can access money, right? Whether it's wrongful termination, whether it's retaliation. I will show you how to get the right fits. James Skidmore in the house. Thank you. Eric Harding. Definitely beautiful weather in the high mid 80s today, and the roof is coming down in a few, probably in about 20 minutes time. I owe Mike Auger a couple of pictures, right? Can't just talk. I got to walk the walk as well. So the pictures are coming. Dennis Torres in the house. I was down in LBC yesterday, brother. But yeah, let's move things forward, or everyone stay safe. There's definitely another video coming this afternoon, and then we have the weekend in front of us, right? We're Friday. Whether we're going to stay indoors, whether we're going to go out, whether we're going to go for a hike, for a bike ride, whether you're going to go out there driving. I did see quite a few rideshare drivers on the road yesterday. I saw a lot of, I was very, very surprised. Saw way more than average. Lady Net's in the house. Good to see you, dear. Good to see you. I hope you and your family are doing well, Lady Net. Also has a great channel. Go and subscribe to her. I did see a lot of drivers out there yesterday. I was actually quite surprised. Week ago, 2 weeks ago, maybe a driver here or there. I saw a lot of Uber and Lyft signs back out in the mix yesterday. So maybe people are thinking, oh, what the heck, I'm going to go back to work. Please stay safe, even if you are going back out to work, right? Put that mask on, get the sanitizer out, right? Clean up your hands several times a day, or wash your hands, whatever you need to do. Disinfect. Feels so great after you've had a shave. It stings like crazy. It's almost like shaving lotion. All right, my friends. So today, the big one is that we stand in solidarity with the Amazon workers, Whole Food workers, Target workers, Instacart workers, Shipt workers, right? And why? Because they're all essential workers or gig workers on the front lines that deserve way better. Their bosses need to reach into their bank accounts, reach into their wallets, and start ordering the PPE, right? The same for the hospitals, the feds, the White House, the governments, the governors. Every everyone needs to get the necessary PPE to those essential workers today. No excuses, and end all of those promises, right? Right? We don't want to have any promises or excuses. All we want is for you people to deliver, right? So we can start saving lives. The more we get this under control, the more PPE we have, the sooner we can return to work, right? We don't need infections flaring up there. We don't need infections flaring up on Ventura Beach because they're crowded. We don't need infections flaring up at Orange County Beach or other state beaches or gatherings or protests where people are huddling around. What we need right now is all the stuff to wipe out that horrible pandemic so that we can get back to work, so we can get back to normal life, right? Proof Films, what up? Good, it's going well. So my friends, we stand together on May Day with all of these wonderful people who deserve better, nurses, workers, etc., gig workers. And I want you to be safe. I will be back later this afternoon and go into way more depth regarding NELA. I've also discussed this with my attorneys that represent me. I said, how do I get representation to the brothers and sisters in these other cities? Not just California. California, we've got the topic handle. It's very easy, right? We got Potter Handy out there. I've put that link out numerous times. That's where Californians can go. But where does the Vegas crowd go, right? Where can a Miami, Orlando, Florida driver go and speak to an employment attorney about misclassification to get money? I'll show you all of that later. Rideshare 411 lighting up the house with all the fire today. The fires are burning. May Day, the fires are burning. People are standing up for something. They're standing up for better conditions. France Murphy, Chicago in the house. As Chicago comes into the house, LA is leaving the house. I got to hit the road, my friends. Love you all. Catch you later. And everyone that hasn't given me a thumbs up, in fact, let's get it up to 30. We're on 28. Dos, por favor. Espanol. German, zwei bitte. French, deux s'il vous plaît. English, two please. Dutch, twee alsjeblieft. And we did it. See? All the United Nations rally together and give me an extra 2 thumbs up. I hit the 30. I'm happy I can start my Friday. Go Donny Com, my buddy. If you don't stand for something, you will never stand for anything. That's it. Let me repeat Go Donny's Com's words. If you don't stand for something, you will never stand for anything. Thank you for sharing those powerful words. And, together we'll succeed. Divided, we shall fail or we shall fall, right? Pretty much goes hand in hand with what Go Donny Com said. On that note, I leave you on a positive note. Have a great, great Friday, everyone. Thank you.